that during periods where there's a lot of new technology coming at us, there's also a lot of business turbulence and a lot of disruption. And when there's a transition this profound, very often a new crop of leaders come up in industry after industry and achieve dominance, and a lot of the old guard fades away. So the question that I find myself getting asked most often these days is, well, who's going to win all these competitive battles over and over? I hear, and I agree from a lot of people, that this transition is not going to be confined to a few industries, not going to be confined to a few geographies. This is extremely broad-based. There are lots of different waves of technology coming at us all at once. How do we think through who's actually going to survive and thrive during this transition? So this afternoon, I just want to walk you through how I'm answering that question these days, how I try to assess who's going to survive, who's going to be the disruptor versus who's going to get overthrown as these technologies march ahead. I've got a four-part answer, and the word technology does not appear anywhere in my answer, because I don't think trying to get the laundry list of cool new technologies and who's investing in them and who's adopting them is the right way to proceed here. Instead, I look around for four characteristics. I think the companies who are going to be successful as we move deeper into the second machine age are the evidence-driven, outward-looking platform builders with geeky leadership. I just want to explain what I mean by each of those four things. I should acknowledge right up front that the evidence-driven, the data-driven crowd did not have a great week last week. It's absolutely true that most of the geeky people who are parsing the data and thinking about the US presidential election made fairly confident predictions, and they were wrong. That doesn't mean we should turn our backs on evidence. That doesn't mean the geeks in general or the data crunchers in general are losing, because in general they're doing extremely well. And I want to pose this maybe overly stark choice between two different ways to make important decisions and to make tough calls in organizations. And one is, unfortunately, what I think the dominant mode these days is to rely on HIPPOs. Does anyone know this acronym? This is my new favorite business acronym. It stands for Highest Paid Person's Opinion. And it's honestly how a lot of organizations that I've worked with and studied make a lot of their very tough decisions. They tee up something, they've got to make a call, they've got to make a forecast. There's some analysis done that's presented, and at some point people turn to the hippo in the room, and they say, oh, hippo, what should we do? And somewhere out of the combination of experience and gut and tough choices and wisdom and whatnot that's accumulated, the hippo tells them the way to go forward. And as you look around, we have lots of different hippos in lots of different areas of our lives. I want to contrast that style with a very stripped down, no judgment applied, very kind of bare bones geeky style of making a tough call, which is just to go where the preponderance of the evidence tells you to go.